to record. We're going to record this. We'll share it, put it on our YouTube, but nothing official. So if you have questions, don't be intimidated. We can turn off the recording if we get to Q&A. It makes folks feel a little more comfortable. But we wanted to share for anyone who can't make it. Let me share my screen. I have some really impressive slides here. Join us, the Chicago user group. Deep dish is our thing. The little cheese bubbles are clouds. One save the date for this Thursday, January 13th. We've got a reInvent recap coming up. We have 4 solutions architects from Amazon presenting. That one will not be recorded, but we will share slides. So if you want to hear all the good stuff, show up in person. To get connected, join us, Chicago AWS or AWS Chicago. Either one leads to this beautiful website. It is now in Amplify. That was my winter break project for myself. So we have a lot of FAQs and stuff for in-person events, but it's all here. We have a link to join our Slack. So join the community online. Got links to the event page, YouTube. We have a LinkedIn group, all that good stuff. And also new in 2022, we're switching to meetingplace.io. Meetup.com is just, it's clunky. It is not updating and it's not very community friendly, in my opinion. It's hard for me to bulk email everybody in the group, and it's hard for folks to contact me. Back when we did stuff in person, if someone was stuck outside of security, they couldn't email me and be like, help, I'm stuck. So hopefully this is just a little bit easier. You won't get a ton of spam emails. The guy who owns it and develops it is based in Indianapolis. So keeping it local Midwest. Hopefully it's pretty straightforward about the group events. 200 or so people have moved over, and I've just set up some reoccurring every month or so. We'll have something out there. And then it's pretty easy to manage your settings and email communications. I liked that things are opt-in, and then you can add stuff to your calendar pretty easily. So that's all I needed from a event platform and none of the other spam. So join us Thursday. You'll get the spiel again. So, all right, who wants to start? John? You are on mute, John.
Is that the most often used phrase in 2021 and now 2022?
Yeah, probably.
Although I do like Zoom, although it didn't happen today. When you talk, it tells you, hey, you're talking while you're on mute, dummy. It didn't say that to me though. So team, thank you very much for having us here today. I'm going to kick off the presentation with a high-level overview of what Amazon Connect is and how we use it internally. Then I'm going to hand it over to Freddy and Karletha for a more in-depth, perhaps beneficial demonstration of how the system works, how you set people up, and how it integrates with other AWS services. So with that, I'm also going to try to figure out how to turn off my video because that conflicts. One moment, please.
And John, I think it was in your bio that you shared you lost a motorcycle race to Walter Payton, or was he running and you were on a motorcycle? I need some clarifications here.
And I still lost, yeah. No. No, yeah, that was an interesting story of a long time ago. Are you seeing my screen though? Real quick.
Yeah, I see your slides.
I can't figure out how to change my video while I'm sharing. But yeah, when I was much younger person, I had a motorcycle that was kind of high powered. And one day we were on a road next to Woodfield Malls. Perhaps some of you are familiar with that. And this guy came up between us with a full face helmet on and leather and everything else. And my friend had an even faster motorcycle. So he went up to my friend, and when you're a motorcycle rider and you kind of nod your head, that means you want to race. So those guys took off and this guy popped a wheelie in the intersection and then dropped it off, and they just took off. And me and my friend were kind of following him a little bit, so we lost by a lot. But then we pulled over just past Woodfield Mall, a place called Bussy Woods, and we started talking to this person, and we had no idea until about 3 or 4 minutes into the conversation when my friend said, my name is Mike, this is John and Ian. And he said, I'm Walter. And then we continued talking. And then based on his high-pitched voice and the Rolex watch, we're like, you're Walter Payton. And he just started laughing at us. So after that, we couldn't talk anymore because we were in awe. And that was my interaction with Walter Payton.
Very cool.
Yeah, something to talk about, right? Not to mention I wanted to be a firefighter, but you didn't bring that up, so. All right, folks, I'm going to, I don't know how to, now that I'm in sharing mode, I can't figure out how to stop my video. If I move it here, can you still see the full screen?
No, now I see your background.
Yeah, okay, I'll leave it here. All right, I'm just gonna shut my video. Okay, guys, so we're here to talk about Amazon Connect, and we'll talk a little bit more about how it works and what it does. But the important thing is for you guys to have an understanding and for us to answer any questions you have about the solution and how it can help you or your customers or potential prospects with what they're doing with their customer service solution. Oops, too many. So as you may have heard through our press releases and our annual reports and our general attitude towards the environment or to the community is Amazon wants to be the world's most customer-centric organization. We pride ourselves on customer obsession. We are continually working to provide better and unique experiences for our customers. And if you remember, Amazon was founded on basically a person that you probably know his name, he started a bookstore. That's all it was in the very, very beginning, right? He's decided to find a new way to sell books. And ever since then, one of our key tenets or the operating principles of Amazon is customer obsession. We want to be the best provider of the service we deliver to you over and above any of our competitors. And we don't talk about our competitors as much. We kind of more focus on the experience of our customers. So over all of the years, we've of course built our organization to support millions of customers, and you can see some of the data there. And today, every single day, we have over 100,000 customer service associates on our system delivering services and helping our customers, do returns or find out where their packages are, or solve the problems that they might have. And one of the things that's unique about Amazon is we need to scale. I'm sure you're familiar with Amazon Prime, Prime Day, or Amazon the day after Thanksgiving and the Monday following. We have these peaks and peaks of needs, and then the next few days we don't need those customer service associates as much anymore. So we were looking for a solution that could provide us the platform that we wanted. We wanted it to be cloud-based, of course, because we're Amazon. And we wanted it to have the flexibility for us to change different things or try new things and definitely go from 100,000 to 120,000 back to 100,000 in the course of 72 or more hours. So we couldn't find anything. This was about 12 years ago when Amazon was starting their hockey stick-like growth. So we built our own platform in the AWS way, right? So we pulled all the resources that we had together, and based on the compute power, database, and all the other platforms that we have in place, we decided to build our own platform to deliver customer service to our constituents outside of our organization. One of the differences between Amazon Connect and what we can deliver for our customers is the platform that we deliver to you is based on what we've built for ourselves. So if you look at some of the other people in the marketplace, they deliver software applications for customer service, they deliver some capabilities, but we use what we deliver, right? So we're providing the same platform that we use internally to our external customers like yourselves, potentially. And if you can see there, I highlighted where Amazon Connect, of course, is one of the key components of differentiating your client experiences, but all of the other AWS services listed here can be part of the solution that you build for your customers. So it doesn't mean that you're going to use every single one of these in every single instance, but we provide you the capability to develop from the Amazon Connect platform, add the things that you need to make your customer service the best way that you want it to be, and differentiate your experiences for your clients. So one of my solutions architects, who's a founder of the Amazon Connect service 4.5 years ago. This is not a picture of his son because that wouldn't be right to do. This is a Adobe Photoshop picture, but he wrote a blog, and you guys can Google this, and maybe some of you are right now, but literally his 8-year-old son, he might have had a little bit of coaching, but he built an Amazon Connect application and one phone number to dial within about 30 minutes. So what we are trying to deliver to your customers and yourselves is the idea that you can build your own platform, super simple, super easy, and in a short period of time if you need to. As a matter of fact, in March and April of 2020, over 5,000 of our clients stood up new Amazon Connect instances to serve their customers during the critical time period when we were transitioning from work in the office to work from home. So real quick, I'll let you guys take a look at these. I'm not going to read through them, but here are some of the examples of clients that we had that were able to deploy very, very quickly and deliver new experiences to their customers, or change the experience that they had based on some new environmental application, if you will. Some of these are quotes. I didn't put quotations around them, but let me go one more slide. Or 2 more slides here. So News Corporation is the organization that owns the New York Times as well as the Dow Jones. And as you can see on the left-hand side there, they started as a help desk, right? 17 users, super kind of easy, and make it straightforward. You don't have to get too complicated. But since then, based on the results that they realized through their internal application, they've deployed Amazon Connect for all of their external clients. And that's what they use today to serve the people that are reaching out to them for whatever reason, whether it's changing their subscription or updating something, or maybe asking for additional assistance in some of their applications. And then on the other side of the scale is a company that you may be aware of, is called Intuit, who you can see here sometimes has about 130,000 calls in a single day at their peak. But the key thing about this slide that I like to point out is they went from doing almost no experiments to doing 100 experiments in 6 months. By experiment, we're leveraging the platform of Amazon Web Services. So let's say you wanted to add something like translate to one of your services or one of your call flows. You could easily go and add translate to that call flow for, let's say, 5% of the users. And if it didn't work properly, or it wasn't giving you the results that you wanted, you could just turn it off with a click of a button and go back and decide what you want to do next. So the idea that AWS and Amazon Connect allows you to experiment with different things and then step backwards fairly quickly with no need for professional services, no need to spin up any new servers. You just leverage the idea of AWS that you guys are very familiar with and change the way you deliver the services to your customers without having to have upfront costs or lengthy time periods to try different things. Do you have any questions so far, guys? I take that as a no. So I will now hand the ball over to Freddy and Karletha for a more in-depth demonstration of Amazon Connect and the administration tools that we have.
All right, thanks, John. Hi, everyone. My name is Freddy Jimenez, and I'm a solution architect specialized with Amazon Connect here at Amazon Web Services. Just want to make sure everyone can see my screen okay before I keep going with the demo. Yeah, okay. Awesome. All right, so excited to be here today. We're going to do a demo on Connect. Karletha and myself, we have a few demos to showcase, and of course, there are going to be a few things we may not be able to showcase today, but if there were any particular things you were hoping to see, we can take some feedback, and maybe we can deep dive in a separate session. But to set the stage for the first demo, we're going to do a financial services of a fake credit union named Octank. And the use case here is going to be a person calling in to activate a card that they received in the mail. So we know that having to call to activate a card and having an agent complete this transaction completely is going to be potentially might create a poor experience for the caller, right? They'll have to wait in a long queue or potentially have to re-authenticate with the agent, et cetera. So what this demo is going to show you and showcase will be a completely automated experience for someone to call in and activate their new card that they get in the mail. On top of it being automated, what's really key here is the personalization of this. So you'll notice when we call in that it'll greet us by name, and it'll already have an idea as to why we're calling, and then it'll allow me to complete the activation process all through self-service. And other things to note is going to be the ease to authenticate a caller and the ability to use voice and also the TMF inputs. So you'll see both of those in this example. So let me go ahead and get started with this first demo. You'll be able to follow along on the right-hand side of the screen with the phone. Thank
you for calling Octank Credit Union. I see you have a card on file that is ready to be activated. Are you calling to activate this card? Yes. Okay. Let me pull up the cards you have on file to be activated. To confirm, are you calling to activate card ending in 9657? Yes. Got it. To activate this card, can you please confirm the billing address zip code that is on file? Great. Thank you. Lastly, can you please confirm the 3-digit CID on the back of the card? Great, thank you. Please hold while we activate your card. Success. Your card is now activated and is ready for use. You can look up your card benefits, rewards, and terms and conditions on our OCU website at www.ocu.com. Is there anything else I can help you with today? No. Okay. Thank you for banking with Octank Credit Union. We hope to serve you again soon.
All right, so that was the first demo. You'll notice a simple, easy way to activate a card all through self-service, which is going to be a little bit different than maybe a different bank that you might be using. Also, how neat that it was able to send me a notification letting me know there was activity on my account. So as a customer, I'm going to feel more connected with my bank. To give you that full experience, let me call back into the same line and do a demo for replacing a card. And you'll see what that automated process for that might look like. In this example, a person may have lost their card and they're looking to get a replacement card shipped through their home address. Things to know here is going to be a little bit very similar. The personalization level, you'll notice since we already activated the card on file, it won't prompt me again for that. And instead, it's going to actually ask me why I'm calling to find out why. You'll notice again the ease to authenticate and then be able to go through the process of replacing the card. And also similar to the last demo, the additional level of reaching out to the caller in means of SMS to notify them that their replacement card has been sent. So let me go ahead and start with that next demo.
Hello, Freddy. Thank you for calling Optang Credit Union. What can I help you with today? You can say things like get a replacement card, activate a card, or speak to a representative. I need a replacement card. For security purposes, can you please confirm the last 4 digits of your social security number? 0308. Got it. I see you have 3 accounts with us. Are you calling about your checking account, ATM debit MasterCard ending in 9657? No. Okay. Are you calling about your Optang Platinum Visa credit card ending in 8008? Yes. Okay, got it. You are calling about your Platinum Visa credit card. Before we process your replacement, would you like to review the last 5 transactions on your card, or would you like to place a block on the card? Place a block on the card. Okay, a block has been placed on your Optang Platinum Visa ending in 8008. Now, would you like us to ship your replacement card to your home address, or would you like to ship it to a different address? Home address. Okay, home address. Can you please confirm the zip code to your home address? 60657. Okay, great. To confirm, you would like us to send a replacement of your Optang Platinum Visa card to your home address? Yes. Please hold while we submit your card replacement request. All right, you are all set. Your Optang Platinum Visa credit card will be sent to your home address. Please allow 3 to 5 business days for shipment and delivery. You will receive a shipment notification by text once we have a tracking number and also when it's delivered. Is there anything else I can help you with today? No. Okay. Thank you for banking with Optang Credit Union. We hope to serve you again soon.
All right, so that was our card replacement demo. And I'm hoping that with those 2 demos, you're resonating a bit and giving you ideas of what the art of the possible could be for your business. Before I dive into services we integrated with to create these 2 demos and give you a better understanding of what the behind the scene looks like, let me hand it over to Karletha, who's actually going to give another demo on chat. I'll stop sharing my screen. And Karletha, you're on mute.
Okay, here I go. All right, everyone. Hi, I'm Karletha Paxton. Good evening, everyone. And just making sure you can see my screen here. Freddy, Margaret, can you see?
Yes.
It's a little nod there.
All good.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, I wanted to share with you today a quick Amazon Connect demo on Amazon Connect Chat. We're going to see some exciting opportunities that you can enable inside the Amazon Chat experience. I have a couple examples here that I'm going to share with you. And basically, I want to first share a agentless self-service experience with Amazon Connect Chat. Basically, we have our self-service answering and responding to the customer via an Amazon Connect chatbot, leveraging an Amazon AWS service called Amazon Lex. And then finally, we'll see that transition from a chatbot to a live Amazon Connect agent. And so that experience with the customer can be easy and seamless. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and just get started here. What you see on the screen here is just a sample website. And with Amazon Connect, you can embed the customer chat experience inside of your website. And that's a really easy process to do. We have an administrative portal that actually provides you with the JavaScript code. And looking here at this website, at the very bottom here in the lower right-hand corner, we have a little chat applet here. And it's when you hover over, it says Open Chat. And when I click on that button, that's going to actually initialize a Amazon Connect chat. Now, in this case, as I mentioned, We are going to first start with an agentless experience. So this could be agent deflection, or you can call it self-service. But in this case, I have an energy company in which this company has just experienced an outage. What do you know? The winter storm has come and there's a power outage. My particular customer in this case is calling to talk about that outage or report it, and some billing issues. So let's take a look at what that experience looks like with Amazon Connect Chat. So we start here with the chat. The customer has visited your website, and they can simply type in a message. It's just plain text, and they can say something like, no power. So let me just spell it correctly here. And with Amazon Connect Chat, you can use what we call no code, low code to sort of anticipate what your customers are going to ask of your agents, and you can totally deflect to a chat bot experience. So in this case, my chat bot, because my customer typed in the words no power, the chat bot can recognize that statement and want to confirm with the customer if they are indeed having a power outage. As a customer, I can simply type yes. And from there, again, with Amazon Connect Chat, you can design your chatbot experience to present the customer with information. In this case, what we want to do is allow the customer to understand that there are some outages going on. So this message can be whatever you select. We use what we call contact flows to build out the customer's experience with drag and drop type workflow design. And in this case, you can simply add in a message or an announcement or notification if you want to change your customer's experience. So in this case, we know that customers typically want to talk to an agent, but we want to make sure that we offer as much self-service as possible. So part of AWS services is that we have services called Pinpoint. And what Pinpoint will do will allow us to send out an SMS message to our customers. So if this customer so desired to receive an SMS message with kind of a status and details, we can simply, even through Amazon Connect, integrate with this SMS service and then add SMS capabilities to our customer service experience over your website. So for this example, instead of saying yes, and if I answered yes here, it would just ask me for my cell phone number and send a confirmation text, similar to what you just saw during Freddy's demo. I'm going to say no here because I want the customer to move on to the next level of self-service here. My particular customer also wanted to talk about some billing. Right? So when the customer says billing, what you notice on the screen is that I have changed the output of what my chatbot looks like to the customer. We've moved from a plain text view to now what we call template responses. And template responses allows you to enable your customers to see quickly what you want them to know, and then to also present them with answers so that they don't have to type in that information. That definitely saves your customers a lot of time and effort if they're going to, have to type in a long explanation of what they want, or even if they just simply misspelled a word, right? The system can actually ask them to repeat in those cases. This is a way with template responses, you can integrate this capabilities inside your Amazon Connect Chat, and you can really change the dynamics of how your customer is engaging with your website. And so by presenting the customer with actual choices that they can click on, the customer can simply select the option that they need. And as you can see, from a data perspective, it actually provides, in this case, check billing status. What this means on the back end is that if you're looking for reporting and certain data from your chat or voice, you can now start having constrained information so that as you're building your report, items like this will be easily to track and easily able to identify in some metrics and performance indicators. Also, what we have available inside of our Amazon Connect chat template responses using Amazon Lex is that you can also incorporate pictures and images. So perhaps your customer case, you want to ask them for their account number or some other information, and to direct that customer to get you that information. In this case, I've simply incorporated a image of a bill. And in this particular bill, it points the customer to the information that I need. So now you've changed from just plain text chat back and forth with your customers to having not only templated responses, but the opportunity to present the customer with some visual diagrams. And you'll see this a lot when you go out to Amazon.com's website. As John mentioned, you're doing a return or you're checking on an order. It will show you a picture of your order, and you can select the items in which you have questions about. You can have that same capabilities inside of your Amazon Connect chat. So in this case, with the templated response, instead of the customer typing yes or no, again, you're given them the quick option, select yes. That definitely saves time, and that makes it very easy. And not only can you have those templated response, but the system is very intelligent. There's the artificial intelligence here that's built into this conversational bot. It can collect information and then take that information and use it to search in other systems. So in this case, I can collect information like the customer's ID. Similar to Freddy's demo, where he collected the last 4 digits of his social to validate the caller. In this case, I can also do the same thing within my chat. And not only that, I can also, as Freddy did, I can customize and personalize my customer's experience once I have this information. So in this case, I'm going to enter my telephone number. It just asked me my account number and now my telephone number. And then what that's going to do is allow Amazon Connect on the back end to integrate with other AWS services, where I can now take that telephone number and then do a database dip into my customer database and pull back customer information. That customer information can be presented to the customer, and again, help you present a self-service tool so that your customers can engage with your business without engaging additional agents. So I'll go ahead and click enter here, and let's see the information that returns. Okay. The chatbot has returned a message. It's personalized it. It's John that's calling in. John actually has a bill that hasn't been paid. And now you can actually escalate. You could give the customer choices. They could pay the bill. They could end the chat. In this case, we want to show you all the power of Connect and transitioning from one mode to the next. In this case, we're going to escalate from this chatbot that's an interactive automated system to a live agent. And that's simply by any point, the customer could have just typed agent, speak to agent, human. Those are the types of phrases that we've accounted for. And in this case, once we see that, what we'll have is that the system, similar to what you will get when you're calling in through a voice ACD, you can present the queue time, for example, and you can certainly provide the customer with other methods to contact your call center. For example, you can have the agents call the customer back versus engaging in the live chat. So in this case, because I typed agent, the system will allow the agent to now be engaged, and I will now show you what the agent experience looks like really quick. Okay, so this is my Amazon Connect agent contact control panel. And what this contact control panel is that for any voice or chats that are coming into Amazon Connect, this is the main control on the far left side here. That is the default client for Amazon Connect. So any voice calls that are coming in, you will see it here under the telephone icon. Any chats coming in, we'll see it here under this little talking bubble here. And so I'm going to make my agent available. And once my agent becomes available, the chat that was just occurring on my website with my customer, I'm accepting this chat as the agent, and instantly you see a transcript section. This transcript section is actually full of all of the transcript information between the customer and the bot. So the agent doesn't have to ask the customer to repeat themselves or why they're calling in. They can see all of that detail. Not only that, they can begin talking to the customer themselves, and the customer can then start talking with the agent. While that's going on the agent side, the agent has sent a message, or they're typing a message to the customer. The customer can see what we call a typing status indicator, which lets them know that the agent has joined, the agent is actually typing. And so now you can see that that indicator is there. So in short, that's essentially the Amazon Connect chat that we have to share with you for the demo today. What you were able to see is that with chat, you can do some agent deflection. You can have multiple business use cases that you address within those self-service automation chatbot experiences with Amazon Connect. You can easily and seamlessly escalate to a live agent. You can integrate to other AWS services to look up customer information and better serve your customers. So I'll pause right there really quickly because Freddie and I have a few more things that we'd like to share with you.
Yeah, I just want to see if there's any input from the group, any questions so far before we dive into some of the services that we use to create these experiences.
Yeah, this is on Bearcat. So I'm guessing there's a native way to export the entire chat transcription.
Yes, there is. We actually have APIs that we can use to send the chat transcripts to different CRMs of your choice. And as well, and there's a chat transcript created for each chat contact that is in the system, and it's a file that you can simply export out to the system of your choice.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments or feedback from the team that these are things that are really cool, or I wish you could do this kind of stuff? Kevin, I'm going to call on you because you texted me, chatted me with you one-on-one. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, this is great. I love it. I love some of the new stuff that's been announced recently, but haven't gotten a chance to get in there and play with it. So I like seeing the agent portal here. This is my first time really getting a nice look at it. I think that's what this is, if I'm not mistaken. But things I'd like to see. I have a long list on the voice side. I haven't gotten into the chat piece as much. I'm sorry. I'm gonna turn on my video here too. I haven't gotten into the chat piece to think about things that I'd like to see, but I am going through a chat installation with a client right now. So this is exciting to see.
Well, Kevin, that's actually awesome. And one of the things that we'll talk about in a moment here is more details of what you can incorporate with the chat, such as our wisdom, and that's the knowledge base. And you can definitely use that as resources that your agents can leverage on the fly to send messages back over to the customer that are very quick and definitely helps the agent, services the customer.
Yeah, wisdom's another one where every time we hear about it, we're like, yeah, we should really start to look into that because it sounds so awesome, and it's just like, it's somewhere on the backlog, it's somewhere on the roadmap.
We'll see a peek of that in just a moment, right after Freddie does his bit here. So
awesome,
Freddie?
Awesome.
Yeah, one of the other cool things that were released with Lex, at least, with Chatbot is the Chatbot Designer. So you can actually import call recordings, and the chatbot itself will analyze those call recordings and essentially design the bot for you and let you know what kind of intents you should be creating versus listening to all your call recording and trying to figure out where people are calling. So one of the new features that was released on reInvent, and I'm sure you'll hear about it coming in on the next couple of days when you have your other reInvent session. So, but moving along here, I know there are tons of service, or as you know, like John was mentioning, tons of services you can integrate here with Amazon Connect, and that's what attracts so many customers to the service. You can customize and build the experience you want to provide to your callers. And with the demos we just listened to, or the voice ones at least, we of course use Connect, but just talk about some of the other services that were used. We use DynamoDB to create a database with caller information. So that's where the customer name, the account information, and cards putting to activate, stuff like that was stored. Of course, that could be any type of CRM system that you may have sitting with your enterprise. Doesn't necessarily have to be DynamoDB, that we just use that for this example. But then we use a Lambda function to take that caller's phone number and do a data dip in the database to retrieve that information and send it back to Connect. So that's how we were able to get the name, make that more of a personalized experience, find out what cards need to be activated, what cards they had on file to replace, stuff like that. So, and with those two services, we're able to create that experience. And that's what callers are looking for right nowadays, and look more of a modern contact center feel. We also leverage Amazon Lex, which is a service for building conversational interfaces such as chatbots. So instead of a customer pressing 1 or 2 for an agent, the customer can actually just naturally say, I need to speak to an agent, or I need to report my card lost or stolen, as we heard in the demo. So the bot is going to understand that customer intent, and it's going to just be able to transfer them to that flow to execute that activity. In that demo, we had multiple instances of Lambda throughout the call to match the input of the caller to the database record, to activate the card, send the replacement, send the SMS, or trigger that, right? I won't go into every detail where it was used, but a lot of what the automation you saw in the demo was actually being done by Lambda. And then the last one we have here is Amazon Pinpoint, which I highlighted on the screen. After that successful activation, after that successful replacement, you saw there was an SMS text sent to the phone. This is where we leverage Amazon Pinpoint. And this is our digital engagement service where we can connect customers over channels, connect with them over channels such as email and SMS. And it was great for this example because we're easily able to enable that SMS feature. And what's great about it is that you can start with SMS. If you later decide you want to expand to email, you can also do that. If you want to add an additional channel, you can make adjustments to that. So it's great for scalability, and you can provide a really reliable customer experience that can grow with your business. And I show you this slide just to emphasize that Connect really does allow you to create that experience that you really want to provide to your customers. Like John mentioned, we have over 200 AWS services, and that number is constantly growing. I'm sure you hear from reInvent, we constantly have new services available and offering to you. So it makes it very easy to start integrating with a variety of services, and you can incorporate analytics, create dashboards, or leverage other AI services to meet your requirements. And that's my favorite part about Connect, the ability to experiment and innovate for your customers. So Karletha, is there anything you wanted to add here in terms of your demo? I know you mentioned Pinpoint, which I just highlighted. I think a lot of the other services are pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
and also
you got
use
them.
others. Yeah,
You got them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So with that, I just wanted to cover one last thing. Some of the new services, I think Karletha are going to go back and forth a little bit with some of the stuff that's been released as of late. But coming from switching gears here, just coming back from a different context center background context, can be challenging sometimes to get a complete picture of satisfaction of customers and how they interact with your business. And without this complete picture, it's sometimes hard to know what you should be doing in response to customers and how you should reshape your contact center to make it a better experience for them. Sometimes post-call surveys often have low response rates, and they generally only capture either very positive or very negative customer feedback, and we all kind of know this. So we have Contact Lens here, which is one of our newer features of Amazon Connect. That is a set of machine learning capabilities and is directly integrated into the service. Contact Lens allows supervisors and QA managers to better understand customer sentiment throughout a call, the trends of it throughout a call, and also see if you're compliant throughout your customer interactions, right? It can help you train your agents more effectively, figure out what works, right, and replicate that, and then identify that crucial company feedback. So let me show you an example of what this looks like on the screen here. So this is a call that I made previously, and I'll show you the transcript here in a little bit down below, but this is a customer who called in due to an error in billing. They were not happy about it, and they've had to call multiple times, but you can see with this report how customer sentiment plummeted throughout the call, and that the agent was able to, by the end of the call, ended on a positive note. And those are the things you're able to track with Contact Lens, which is awesome, right? Was a customer upset, and was the agent able to turn that sentiment around throughout the interaction, right? So this is a contact trace record. I'm sure you all may be familiar with something similar in a different platform, but essentially it's going to give you all the details of the call, when they called, who called, the anidiness, if it was voice, chat, when it happened, what queue they were in, et cetera, et cetera. So the Contact Lens is incorporated into your contact trace record, which is going to be a record for every single call that happens. And you'll see here, there's a map. So you'll be able to see the interaction, or throughout the length of the interaction, how that customer sentiment went from down to up, or up to down, or whether it just stayed the same throughout the entire call. You'll also be able to see throughout the entire call how much of that call was a positive sentiment versus a negative sentiment, or if it was just neutral. So you'll see here for about 42% of the call, it was a positive sentiment. 15% of the call was negative. And maybe you want to dive a little bit deeper into what that was, right? And how the agent was able to flip that around. Other things you can see here too is non-talk time, which sometimes people may think that's kind of a weird KPI to measure, but if you think about it, agents sometimes may just be silent on the call and put themselves on mute if they have to look some more information up, because they know they're tracked on hold time, which kind of gives a color poor experience, right? So with Contact Lens, you can actually track when it's a silent throughout the call. You can actually tell the difference between when a customer is talking and when an agent is talking. So you'll see here, for about 30% of the call, the customer was talking, and for about 42% of the call, the agent was talking. So just different types of metrics you'll be able to track with Contact Lens. There's categories here. You'll see here is frustration. I'll dive into this at the very end, but when we move down here, you'll see the recording and transcript. So you'll see the customer up top here and the agent down below. And what's really neat here is you'll see when the agent's talking, when the customer is talking, but on top of that, you'll actually be able to see the sentiment, right? So green is positive, red is negative. And if you click on any part of this transcript, let's say I want to go to where the negative is, it'll actually drag the transcript right to where the red was, right? So there's obviously something wrong here. There's negative sentiment from the customer, and I want to find out what it is. So rather than having to listen to an entire call, now I can just go straight to the transcript and read exactly what was happening. So it sounds like they're frustrated because they have to keep calling about a bill and it wasn't for the correct amount, and they need someone to look at it immediately. And you'll see that the agent took that as an opportunity to flip the sentiment around. And it sounds like the customer got happy after that and was able to credit the account. And customer at the very end just said, "You were fantastic. I love working with the company, and thanks so much," right? So pretty neat. I mean, the idea of just having the whole transcript here listed, and this wasn't a chat, this was a voice call, right? So the same way you would see the chat transcript, you're going to be able to see the transcript for a voice. You'll be able to listen to the recording here as well. And what's new here is you actually have a transcript summary. So if you don't want to actually read through the entire transcript, because calls can sometimes be very long, you'll be able to automatically see like the issue of a call. So the Contact Lens is automatically already detecting that the issue of the call was the bill was not for the correct amount. Right? I didn't have to go listen to the entire call. I was able to just open up this report and find out the issue of the call was billing. Right? So the Contact Lens feature is automatically analyzing a call and detecting the issue for you. So just a little piece of Contact Lens there. Any questions on this piece? Other things you can do with Contact Lens, which is really, really cool, I love, is the categories piece. So you can actually create rules based on what's happening within a call. So let's say you have a call with negative sentiment, or someone mentions a specific word within a call, like they're frustrated or they want to cancel their service. If the system detects that they say those words, you can actually create a rule to send a notification to supervisor, right, to follow up on this call or look at this call, analyze the call. You can send them a link to the contact trace record. So just multiple ways you can leverage creating rules based on whatever customer is saying, what's happening throughout the call. So you can actually act real time based on what's happening and how a customer and agent are reacting. So if you hear that an agent is having a negative sentiment toward a caller, or they're saying certain things they're not supposed to be saying, you can also trigger another alert to notify a supervisor or investigate a little bit more about what's going on throughout the call. And Contact Lens works in real time, or it can be post-call, depending on how you want to set things up with your instance of Connect. But yeah, so this is one of the cooler new features that was released in terms of customer sentiment. And the best part about it is that it's all native and directly integrated into Amazon Connect. So there's no external integrations or third-party services to manage. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Karletha, who's going to dive into the custom CCP.
Yes, well, I just want to spend just a couple moments here, if possible, just maybe one more minute, guys, and share with you just some of the out-of-the-box, what we call the call control panels with Amazon Connect. You have a default client here. This is all thin client based. And that means that there's nothing local to the agent PC. So this is all over the web. It's a iframe here. So there's ways that you can customize the what the agent is looking at, as well as making it very basic. This is what the basic view looks like. The agent will log into a website here for Amazon Connect, which is presented with your Amazon Connect instance. They can log in, log out, they can download their logs, can actually use a desk phone if they want to have calls sent to them like on a landline or a mobile phone. And so this is the default client that we have available within Amazon Connect. We do have a secondary client that is also available with your Amazon Connect instance. And it gives you a little bit more in terms of what we just talked about was Wisdom, which is our knowledge base search that we can incorporate inside of Amazon Connect. That means that agents can now have a single pane of glass in order to see any information in terms of the knowledge base to help them answer questions, whether they're on a voice call or a chat. And as you can see on this lower left-hand side here, that same control that you see over here has just been embedded inside of a separate web page that was custom to show this information. We also have what we call customer profiles. And this is a way that you can incorporate your customer management systems information into Connect, so that the agents can have like screen pops to show customer details when they receive chats and voice contacts. So you can really have a real basic view to a more integrated view. And then of course, what we had, what I shown you at the very beginning, which was this is a more customized view so that you can see the art of the possible, how you can sort of lay out all of the soft phone controls within Amazon Connect. So it's very simple to work with Amazon Connect in terms of your chat and your voice users, and just designing that interface is really seamless as well. We basically call it low code, no code type deployment scenarios that we do have available. And this is just some of the different views that we offer with Amazon Connect, so that your agents can have a single pane of glass view to service your customers. So I know that we're at the top of the time here, so I want to be cognizant of that. And I'll just stop here and ask if there are any other questions that Freddie and I could answer for you all.
Hey, Karletha and Freddie. Kevin, did you have specific questions about the voice? When we talked a lot today about digital interactions and showing you how chat and some of the other things can be integrated into your CRMs. Do you have specific questions about voice, or I believe we have another half an hour, I think, right?
Oh, okay,
Not kind of blocked,
Well,
not
let's get
blocked off, if you will, but
okay,
available. So
okay.
go
I
ahead.
thought we had to the top of the hour.
Sure,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could pull up my work computer here and take a look because I do have a documented list. I'll see if I can find something interesting in there.
Well, Kevin, while you're doing that, since we do have a little time, I did want to show you the wisdom piece. So with Amazon Connect Wisdom, that's the knowledge-based search engine. We work out of the box with systems like ServiceNow, Salesforce.com. You can also import in some of your knowledge-based articles from the system or knowledge management system of your choice. So the chat example that I was using earlier, I was talking with an agent and the customer mentioned something about a fuse. Let's say that my agent is servicing this customer. They can easily come over to the wisdom section of this particular custom CCP. And now they can actually, highlight out and we can automate this and make it where they can just copy and paste it into the chat. Now they can absolutely, copy and paste that information over to the customer so that now the agent is engaging with the customer and using knowledge-based articles from Wisdom to help them do their jobs a little bit better. As Freddy mentioned earlier, with Connect, there's integrations to AWS services so that if you want to do database lookups and things of that nature, you can also incorporate those types of additions inside of this custom view or this custom contact control panel. And in this case, this is an energy company. So you could even have something like customer's latest transaction so that the agent can see that, there is a bill that's unpaid. And this information can be dynamically updating. So it's not a static view. If the system on the back end changed to paid, the agent would actually see that reflected through this particular tool because this is a live and again, dynamic and integrated system. In addition to that, within our custom control panel here, you can do certain features like sending the customer text messages, right? Not just through the chat piece that you saw with Freddy with the voice, but agents can now send chat messages to the customers. We're using our Amazon Pinpoint to service that functionality. We can actually even validate the phone number. So say, for example, if I put my father's number in here, right? Number is going to be a landline. So we can have a functionality that's available to the agent to even validate phone numbers. And we're making just basic API calls in order to do that. Right. So if my customer wanted to see this information via an SMS message, just to have the details that they're talking with the agent about, now they have the agent has the option at their fingertips. Hey, I can send you a text message. Or as Freddy mentioned, if there's an email that's necessary, I can do that too. So now you've totally added additional opportunities to communicate with your customers just through Amazon Connect service. So I'll stop right there. And that was the main thing that I would like to share with you regarding the what we call the custom control panel, or basically what the Amazon Connect agent experience is like. It can be as simple as just the soft phone controls here, or more advanced where you're pulling customer information, or as Freddy just shared with you, where the agent could actually themselves see the sentiment information from the customer's previous transactions. You can see all of that detail. So that really saves the agent from asking the customer, what happened, look at this particular scenario, right? The same details that Freddy just shared with you, my agent can look and say that, oh my gosh, they called in earlier this afternoon and they didn't have a good call. Right. So my agent can be extra cognizant of that and making sure that that customer experience is turned around. So again, you have all of these tools that's available to you just through Amazon Connect and all of the AWS services that integrate with it natively.
And with Wisdom, I think, Karletha, maybe you mentioned this or not, but on the voice side, if you're using it, it actually can detect words that you're saying and articles will appear that are relevant to what the customer is saying or asking. So it just makes it a lot quicker for agents to get access to the information that they need to be able to answer questions.
I think
Absolutely.
also team, I mean, what we're showing here is what we built for this demonstration purposes. Your team, you and your teams have the capability to build whatever view that your agents need, regardless of, you know, where you put it and things like that. So it's totally customizable, and it can even be embedded in things like Salesforce, ServiceNow, and other CRM applications with very little coding necessary. Oh, we had a raised hand.
Yeah, I didn't want to interject, but do we know if this is inherently GDPR, SOC, and high trust compliant, or do we have to formulate that so that it is those it does reach those kind of compliances?
So with compliance with GDPR, the services that we use within Amazon are actually it's on a service by service basis. So you'll actually have to, it depends on the use case. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that we could dive into a little bit deeper if you're looking at a specific use case, but these services are compliant. It just depends on how you use your data. Like, I mean, it can be, for example, PCI compliant, but if you're managing data in a certain way, it's not going to be right. It's PCI compatible or GDPR compatible, but it depends on how you're managing your data through these services. But yes, to answer your question, we can.
Right. So to just add on to what Freddy was just saying, various features in Connect that touches data within Amazon Connect, we do highlight on in our documentation, you know, what compliance is met for each feature. So for example, if I were to look at the task, if I'm on the Amazon Connect documentation website, I can go to that particular section, and it's going to cover, the compliance and regulations that it meets. And we definitely have statements on each of those features within Amazon Connect. So when you're talking about anything dealing with data, the voice, the chats, the task, etc., we do have that noted.
Thank
you. Guys, do you want to see how easy it is to build a flow? Or now I'm throwing Karletha and Freddy into the wind here, but we have at least let's call it 15 minutes, right? I don't want to go to the bottom of the hour, because I read that one of the things I should do in 2022 is be the guy that ends the meetings early. So if there's something that you'd like to see, or let us know where we should go next, please.
I have a quick question. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Bringing data into the system via text or voice calls, can that data also go out to as text calls, let's say, to create a service ticket, to go fix something, and then send that out via a text call, and more likely probably email as well, out to other people, and then build like a ticketing system with this? I think I saw that, in fact, on the screen, it talks about tasks.
Yes, absolutely. We have what we call events within Amazon Connect, and those events can, such as tasks, be sent second or non-AWS systems like ServiceNow, et cetera, so that as events take place in those systems, they can be sent into Connect, and then vice versa. So as events happen within Connect, and say, for example, the example that Freddy shared with you, so some issue occurred and it was a trigger that you guys are monitoring. Based on that event, we can send that notice to an external system. So let's just call it, there was a product defect issue. And because we're using machine learning and it's listening to the call real time, it can extract that event out real time, create an event and a task, and send that to your external system like ServiceNow or Salesforce, and you can have an external system responding to events that occurred within Connect. And again, vice versa, it can come in as well. Did that make sense to you, or any other questions?
Yeah, would Connect actually dial out or email out a message from within Connect instead of going to a secondary service?
It would be a secondary AWS service.
Okay.
Mhm.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, this is Alex Roth. I'm on the Amazon Connect team. While we're waiting for any other questions, actually, before I make my announcements, I hear there's a prize, possibly, if anybody remembers where John raced Walter, just drop it in the chat. I'll let him be the judge of that. But I wanted to point out that I dropped a link to our newly formed Amazon Connect Meetup. It's a user group specifically that our customers asked for. So if you're interested in learning more about Amazon Connect, it's a great thing to visit. We have our next quarterly meeting on February 3rd. Anyone's invited. We usually have AWS thought leadership there talking, and we'll have a customer typically present. So I think we're going to do some stuff on wisdom and voice ID if you guys want to join that. And then for anyone who's a little more experienced, we have a free virtual workshop coming up that's put on by one of our partners in conjunction with us. And it's making the most of contact lens, like Freddy was talking about, and then Lexbots as well. So hopefully we'll see you guys at one of those events if you're interested in more.
I think one of the other cool things you might learn on those workshops is we have a Lexbot Designer application that can take transcripts, which are either created through contact lens or ingested from your previous recordings, and suggest what your bot should do. So it's kind of like, it's basically taking AI/ML like to the next level, where, hey, we're listening and learning to what your customers are saying, and we're suggesting things. Of course, you need to go through it and curate that. But the Lexbot Designer is something that's pretty exciting for most of our customers. And I think that'll be covered in some of the workshops coming up. Thank you, Yazan. I'll send you a Starbucks gift certificate for that.
The odds are pretty good for Yazan.
He was listening and he remembered.
I ride motorcycles too, so I paid attention.
Yeah, John,
Back in the day, not anymore, right? Or
I looked through my list of things, and a lot of them actually are quite old and kind of very specific. So nothing to share from that list specifically, but as I'm going through the, seeing what you all have been presenting tonight, I've been working with Connect for close to 2 years, and it's just amazing how, like, I'm in it kind of every day, but there's so much to it that it's just like, I got so much out of the presentation tonight, like from the non-talk time and being able to validate the phone number inside the CCP. Like, that's just some really cool stuff. So thanks for going through all of that. It's just such a vast product. It's hard to get your head around all of it.
Well, I think you're pointing out that it's actually not, some of those things are not even Connect, right? They're pointing to other services, and that's what we were hoping to bring to you guys, that Connect is part of the platform. And how you enable it is almost limitless to you and your development teams, and or your customers' development team.
That's the biggest challenge. Just, there's so much you can do. It's what can you do with the time that you have,
True.
It's so exciting though.
all for questions.
So I wish, guys, we could have been in person. I'd love to have pizza with you, and perhaps there's some sort of beverage involved. But in the future, maybe next quarter, we'll circle back with you guys and talk a little bit more about some of the advances we have made and things you might be able to do that we can't do today. Otherwise, happy to answer any questions offline. You guys should have all of our contact information, and looking forward to communicating with you in the future. Oh, Margaret, do you have another message there?
Yeah, just sharing a link. I forgot to self-promote and say, I try to do a yearly survey of what content would be interesting to people, what formats, and then I'm curious this year too, my question is, as of today, how do you feel about in-person meetings? Because it could be a day-by-day different answer. So just curious if for folks who haven't gotten the email yet, just take 3 minutes and do the survey. I'm sure it'd be cooler looking in Connect. But give me some feedback about the user group. That's the point. It's for users, so tell me what you think. And yeah, we'll do more of these, hopefully in person soon.
Thanks all.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Yeah.
Thanks.